Hi everyone, it's Rebecca from Chloe's Creative Cards, and today I've come on to show you how to make this beautiful Christmas project. We've used lots of the new elegant Christmas range for this card, so I'm going to get started and show you how to make this beautiful card. Okay, so first I've taken an 8x8 card blank and check which way it opens, there we go. And then I've taken a piece of quartz pearl card. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to edge this in our new beautiful glitter. This one is called Stardust Gold. I'll show you that in just a second. So I'm just going to take a piece of scrap paper and I'm just going to run my chisel tip glue pen all the way along the side. So just button up the edge of that glue pen to the edge of the card and dragging towards you. Like so, on all four corners. And I'm just going to move the sticky bit of paper out of the way. I'll get in a fresh piece of paper and I'll show you this beautiful glitter. Okay, so this is the one we're going to use today. So it's called Stardust Gold and it is just stunning. So I'm going to carefully add that all the way around the edge. Like so. Slipping it in and flicking off that excess. I'm just going to pop this back into the pot. It's such a stunning colour. Okay, and I'm going to add this piece that we've just glittered onto my card blank using some Collal all-purpose glue. I'm just going to apply a little bit to the back, like so. And then I'm going to stick that down like that. There we go. Okay, then I've taken a piece, so that piece was cut at 7 3/4 inches. I've then taken a piece of Lapis Lazuli pearl card and cut that to 7.5 inches. And then we're going to take the Starry Night background stamp and we're going to ink that up using our Wow clear embossing ink. I'm just going to carefully dust over my piece of card with some anti-static dye. Just grab that, there you go, and just make sure that that's got no fingerprints on. Okay, I'm just going to ink up the stamp. Lots of light tapping all over the image, just to make sure that there's plenty of ink on there. Like so. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully position this at the top. So I'm going to use the biggest stars, they're going to go towards the top. Like so. Just going to press that down, make sure that that ink transfers onto our card. Okay, and carefully lift that off. And then I'm going to cover that in Tropez Sands Wow powder. I'm just going to carefully sweep that over and then pop that just to one side for now. Okay, just going to grab in my anti-static bag again just to get rid of that bit there. Okay, and then again I'm going to ink up the stamp. It's lots of light tapping. Make sure it's all nice and inked up, ready to transfer onto our piece of card. And then again, this time I'm going to put the bigger stars towards the bottom. Like so. Okay. And then again, I'm just going to bring in that Tropez Sands Wow powder and I'm just going to dunk it in like so. There we go. And if you get any little stray flecks, a little paintbrush is great, or if not, can't seem to find mine, so I'm just going to use my poker tool and just carefully scratch a little bit off and then just blow it off. and then that's fine. There we go. Okay, now you can see that in the centre there is a band where there's nothing there. Okay, now what I did, because I wanted the whole background to be covered, is I just used the edge of the stamp to just infill it. So I just used one of the corners of just the little dotty stars and just ink that up a little bit. And then all I did was just carefully try and line this up. This is a bit difficult and I can't get my head over. I do apologise if you see my head. And just carefully just blob that on there. And then again, the other side. Oh, let's just carefully press that down. It just joins it all together a little bit. You're not going to see the middle bit, so that doesn't matter. But just those edges. Like so. There we go. And again, if you've got any little bits that you don't want on there, just carefully with a little paintbrush or a pokey tool, just take those off. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat that up using our heat tool. Okay. Right, so carefully just waiting for the powder to melt and change and then move to another section. It does take a little while, especially when you're doing a full background, but it's definitely worth it in the end. You could of course use one of the papers from the paper pad, and there are some nice starry background ones in there as well, so you could use that instead if you didn't want to stamp a full background. I just thought this looked really nice with the Tropez sands onto the Lapis Lazuli card. Thought it looked very elegant. And just carefully following that powder round. There now. And you just sort of just hold it, see if there's any bits that are missing, haven't been heated yet. And just go back over. Lovely. One last little bit there. Okay, then we're going to add this onto our card using some foam pads. I'm just going to grab some of our 3mm foam pads and I'm just going to add those onto the card like so. Okay, check which way my card goes. There we go. And I'm just going to peel off all of those backs. Get rid of those. And then we're going to stick this on. So again, carefully just lining that up. And sticking that down. Okay. I then cut another piece of quartz pearl card. I think 6 3/4 inches, and I'm just going to do the same as we did for the first piece. So I'm going to edge it in glue, so I'm just going to bring in a sticky piece of paper, and I'm just going to edge it with some glue and then cover it in that Stardust Gold Sparkelicious again. So all the way around, all four sides. And then again dunk it in our glitter, like so. Tap up all the excess and then pop it back into the pot. Okay, and then I'm going to stick that one again onto the card using foam pads. So we'll just grab some more foam pads. Again, peel off the backs. Oh, stuck that one to that one. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. Then I took another piece of Lapis Lazuli and cut this one to 6. I think so. Our first layer was 6 3/4. Then we had 7 3/4. Then we had 7 1/2. This one I think 6 3/4. This one's 6 1/2. Okay. And I'm gonna edge this one just like we have done, but I'm gonna edge it in the Stardust blue glitter this time. So again, I'll just bring in this sticky piece of paper so we don't end up with them all sticky. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in the Stardust blue this time, which again is another stunning colour. So beautiful. I'm just going to edge that like so. And just tap off all that excess. Again, pop it back into the pot. We certainly don't want to lose any of this glitter. And then again, I'm going to stick it onto our card using some foam pads. Just grab some foam pads. Okay. And again, just going to stick those on. Like so. And we'll just peel off those backs. And stick on our blue piece. Like so. Okay, then to create our lovely branches on here, I've taken our Christmas branch stamp and again some Lapis Lazuli pearl card. So I'm just going to take out a piece of card. Now there's 2 ways you can do this. You can either stamp it out first and then you can overlay the die and then run it through your die cut machine, or you can cut out the branch first and then stamp over the top. Either way, just whichever is your preference. So I'm going to run this one through our die cutting machine. So I'm just grabbing some low tack tape and I can find the end. There we go. I'm just going to cut some low tack tape and then just to secure it down and make sure that it doesn't move. Okay, I'm going to grab my plates, my Gemini machine. So I'm using clear plate, plastic cutting plate, die facing up with card on the top and then my clear plate on the top again. And I'm just going to run that through my Gemini machine. That to come out the other side. And then you can see we've got that lovely branch all cut out. Like so. Just poke those little bits out, get rid of those. Go. Okay, and then I'm just going to dust it over with the anti-static bag again, just in case there's any fingerprints. and then I'm going to take my stamp and I'm going to ink it up. So again, using our clear embossing ink, lots of light tapping all over the stamp. Like so. This one, if you're stamping over the top of the die cut image, you're best to stand up and stand right over it. So it is a bit tricky because I'm sat down, I don't want to get my head in the way for you. So I hope that this is going to be okay. Okay. There we go. And then I'm again going to use that Tropez Sands, which is a lovely colour. So I'm going to pour that over. Tap off the excess. You can see there's a couple of little points there just where I haven't pressed hard enough, but once we've got glitter and things on, you're not going to see those anyway. But again, just make sure that you're pressing on with enough pressure to get all the ink transferred onto your image. Okay, and I'm just going to heat this branch up. Okay, so I've done that another time as well, so we've got 2 branches. Okay, I'm going to stamp it out one more time, I think, just so I can show you to get that clear image. I'm going to cut it out, I'm going to use this piece and then we're not wasting any card. I'm going to cut that out one more time. Run that through the Gemini. Just wait for it to come out the other side. And then you can see we've got that lovely branch again. Get that from the die and just push out those little bits. Like so. Okay. Again, I'm just going to take our anti-static bag, just give it a little wipe over. Okay, and then I'm going to ink up our stamp again. Oh, it's just fallen off the desk there. Not to worry. And again, if I can try and line that up, I think it's better on the white paper, I can see it a little bit easier. Okay. And go, and then firm pressure just to make sure that ink transfers. Like so. Okay, and again I'm just going to pour over that Tropez Sands Wow powder. There we go, I've got a lovely clear image. There we go. Pop that back into the pot. And then just heat that up. Okay, now I'm just going to bring our card back in. Okay, and then what I did was with the 2 branches, I just positioned them where I kind of wanted them on the card. So I popped one facing this way and then one facing this way. and then they're going to overlap, but you're just going to trim the edge off with some scissors. Okay, so I applied some foam pads to the back, so just cut down some little pieces of our foam pads on a roll and just stuck those onto the branches. Just carefully in between the leaves like so. And then I'm going to stick this one up at the top. So I'm just going to peel off the backs of those. Can get quite fiddly when you've cut them down. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to stick this one out here. Okay, and then I'm going to again pop some foam pads on the back of this one. Like so, just fitting them in the gaps where you can. And just put, I think, another little bit in here and a little bit in here. Oh, it wants to stand. There we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to position this one again, going the opposite way, like so. Okay, and then I'm just going to carefully take my scissors and just trim off the edge, so you can see just up to kind of the edge of the blue glitter line. Just trimming that off. Okay. Then to create our beautiful star decorations, we've taken the star from the Christmas branch stamp and I've stamped that out 4 times onto Lapis Lazuli pearl card. Okay, so I'll show you how that stamps out. So again, just taking some Lapis Lazuli pearl card, dusted over with an anti-static bag, just to get rid of any fingerprints, and then I'm just going to ink up the stamp using our Wow clear embossing ink, like so. I'm just going to stamp that down. Again, I'm going to cover it in our Tropez Sands Wow powder and tap off the excess. Pop that back into the pot, and then I'm just going to heat that up. And then I've taken the coordinating die and I'm just going to carefully position that over our star and tape that into place. So I'm just going to grab some more low tack tape. Okay, and I'm just going to carefully position that over and then tape that down. So we're going to run that through our Gemini machine. Okay, and just wait for that to come out the other side. And then there you can see we've got that lovely star all cut out, beautiful. Okay, I'll just move those out of the way. Okay, so I have done that 4 times. Okay, then what I've done is I've added the Stardust gold glitter to 2 of the stars just round the edge, and I've added it to 2. I've added the Stardust blue to 2 as well, so I've got 2 of each. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that, but it was just so that they were dry so I could stick them onto my card. Okay, so I just took my Art Dries clear glue with a fine tip, and then just round where you can see that border, I just infilled that with some Dries clear glue all the way around. Like so. And then I just took and use my Stardust Gold and then just carefully tip that over, and then you can see we've got that beautiful sparkle around the edge. So I'll pop that one to dry and then use the dry ones for today. Okay, so I'm going to bring my card back in, and then I'm just going to position them on the branch. So I'm going to have gold one kind of coming from this branch here. I'm going to then have a blue one hanging down from here, another gold one, and a blue one. Okay, and then I just secured those into place again with some foam pads, but I put them on I put the bottom ones on a double layer just to give them that little bit more height. So just like so, just stuck those on. And the gold ones I just stuck on with one layer because they're going on top of a branch, so effectively they kind of have two layers anyway. Like so. Stick that there and that one there. Okay. And then I just added a bling stone to the centre of each star from our Frosty Christmas bling box. I just took some of the medium sized blue gems. Oh, I think I've got a small one there. Got a medium one. Okay, I just stuck those into the centre of each star. Like so. Okay, and then I tied 4 little bows. So on the finished sample, I've used some navy satin ribbon, but for this one, I've used some white organza. Okay, I think it'll still give a lovely effect as well, something a little bit different. So just tied just some regular bows that I'm just going to stick at the top. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of glue gel. So I'm going to add a tiny blob to the top of each star, just like so. Okay, and then I'm going to stick on our lovely little bows. Just adds that extra little bit of detail, makes it look so cute. Just stick that one on there, and last one, stick onto there. Then again, I'm just going to add a bit of glue to the centre of each bow. And then I'm going to use our Frosty Christmas bling box again. And this time I'm just going to use a little pearl. So I'm going to use the medium pearls this time. And I'm going to put one of those into the middle of each of the bows. Like that, there we go. And again, just adds that extra little bit of detail. Okay, then I took one of the sentiments from the Elegant Christmas Verses, and this one says, "Believe in the magic of Christmas." I'm just going to stick that onto a little block, and again I'm just going to bring in a little bit of Lapis Lazuli pearl card. I'm going to dust that over with an anti-static bag, ink up our stamp as we have done, like so, and then I'm going to cover that in some Tropez Sands embossing powder. There we go. Just get rid of that, and then I'm going to heat up our sentiment. Waiting for that powder to melt and change, and then carefully moving it over the image. Okay, and then I've just brought in my guillotine, I'm just going to carefully trim that to size. Just like so. Just carefully trimming around that image. And then I'm going to add that to the bottom of our card, again with some foam pads. As you've guessed, I like a foam pad or two. Just like so. And then we're just going to add that down here. Okay, to finish off the card, I then just added some tiny little dots just all the way around the stars and the branch. And at the top, just carefully dotting on, no huge dots, just tiny little dots. And then I'm going to bring in my Stardust blue glitter again. It just ties it all together. So I'm just going to carefully take that over there. Oh, I've lost a pearl. I'll stick that back on in a second. And that one's kind of coming off. We'll stick those back on in a second. Okay. Must have tapped a little bit hard for those pearls there. Okay. Right. There we go. Pop that back in the pot. Just move that out of the way. Okay, then I'm just going to add a little bit more glue just to stick my pearls back on. Seem to have lost 3 out of 4 there. There we go. And the last one. Doesn't want to be picked up. No, he's having none of it. Just grabbing my tweezers. There we go. Okay, and then the last thing, I just added 3 little dots of glue just to those 2 corners and added on some of the small blue gems from the Frosty Bling box again. 3 at the top and 3 for the bottom. So I'll just add those onto there, like so. There we go. And then don't worry if the glue smudges out a little bit because it will dry clear, so that's fine. Okay, and that would be your finished card. Okay, thank you for joining me today. I've loved making this beautiful project with you all. As always, everything is available to buy from www.chloescreativecards.co.uk, and everything that I've used in today's tutorial will be listed in the description below. Thank you. Bye.